Hey Wellness Crew, and welcome to Yoga with Jenna. I am so excited that you're here to join me today. I'm actually going to run through this for the second time because for whatever reason, the camera just stopped working. So let's try this again and hopefully this time it'll stick. All right, so as we know, this is free flow yoga. So what does that mean? It means that I have a concept of the poses and the flows that I want to do, but it could change along the way. And that's why I don't have anything written out. Everything is very much just from my heart, from my soul. So we're going to go ahead and start as we usually do. Make sure the mic is on. I'm paranoid to have to redo it. So we're going to go ahead and start with sun salutations. So we're going to lift our arms up. Inhale, swan dive forward into a forward fold, relaxing the neck. Walking our hands forward into plank. Coming in to hovering, so only the palms of our hands, the balls of our feet, and our toes are in contact with the mat. We're going to go ahead and the water fountain just kicked on. Yay! So we're in upward dog. We're going to go ahead and tuck our toes underneath to get into downward dog. And then we're going to go ahead and walk our hands in towards our feet. Come up to halfways. Come back down. And slowly roll up. So we're going to do this again and again so we can get nice and warm. Breathing in, lifting our arms up. Swan diving forward into a forward fold, relaxing the neck. Walking our hands out into plank. Coming into hovering. Coming into upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Stepping our right foot forward to come into a crescent lunge. Taking some nice deep breaths. Bringing our hands back down to the mat. Bringing the right foot back, bring the left foot forward. Coming up on the left hand side for crescent lunge. And bringing our hands back down to the mat. Coming back into downward dog. Walking our hands in towards our feet. Forward fold. Coming up for halfways. Coming back down. And slowly rolling up. Breathing in, lifting our arms up. Swan diving into a forward fold, exhaling. Walking our hands out into plank. Coming into hovering. Coming into upward dog. Coming into downward dog. Stepping the left foot forward for crescent lunge. Extending our arms up nice and high. Bringing our hands back down to the mat. Stepping that left foot back, the right foot forward. And coming into crescent lunge on the right side. Bringing our hands back down to the mat. Coming back into downward dog. Stepping our left foot forward, the other one meets it. Forward fold. And slowly rolling up, coming into mountain pose. Taking a nice few breaths right here. And we're going to go ahead and do an airplane flow. So we're going to bend at our knees, hinge forward at our hips so we're parallel to the mat, and come back up. Bend your knees, hinge at the hips, and come back up. At the top you inhale, the bottom you exhale. Just got 2 more. From here, we're going to go ahead and just fall forward into that forward fold. Stepping our feet back so we can get into plank. Coming into hovering. Coming into upward dog. Coming into child's pose. Nice deep breaths. Coming back into plank. Coming back into hovering. Upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Stepping our right foot forward for crescent lunge. Bringing our hands back down to the mat, stepping that right foot back, stepping the left foot forward for crescent lunge on the left-hand side. Lowering our hands back down to the ground, coming back into downward dog, relaxing the neck. We're going to pedal our feet in downward dog. We're going to walk our hands in towards our feet, forward fold, coming up to halfways, coming back down into forward fold, and slowly rolling up. I apologize for any background noise that is occurring right now. Okay, let me fix the mats real quick. As everyone knows, I have a little bit of OCD. Going ahead, breathing in, lifting up our arms, swan diving into a forward fold. Taking a few deep breaths right in this position. Walking our hands forward into plank. Coming into hovering. Which again, it's only the palms of our hands, our toes, and the balls of our feet that are in contact with the mat. Coming up into upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Coming back into plank. Back into downward dog. Back into plank. Downward dog. Bringing our knees down to come into child's pose. Nice deep breaths in this position. Bringing our right foot forward for a low lunge. And you can have your hands however you would like. You can have them resting on your thigh. You can have them extended out on either side of you. You can even have them in the crescent lunge position. However you feel you want to have your arms positioned is totally okay with me. Bringing our hands down to the mat, bringing that right knee back, bringing that left foot forward. Again, low lunge. And you'll feel a stretch along your upper right thigh since we're on our left foot. Bringing our hands down to the mat, coming back into downward dog. Stepping that left foot forward, the right one meets it, forward fold. Come up for halfways, come back down, and slowly rolling up. All right, we're gonna go ahead, have our hands in mountain position, so that way we can go ahead and do our airplane flow. So bending our knees, hinging at the hip, parallel to the mat, and come back up. All right, from there, falling forward into a forward fold. Stepping our feet back so we can come into plank. Coming into hovering. Coming into upward dog. Tucking our toes underneath for downward dog. Stepping our right foot forward. Coming into a crescent lunge. Bringing our hands back down. That right foot back. Bring that left foot forward. And coming into crescent lunge on the left-hand side. And bringing our hands down. Coming back into plank. To downward dog. To plank. To downward dog. To plank. To downward dog. To plank. Downward dog. Walking our hands in towards our feet. Forward fold, relaxing the neck. And slowly rolling up. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to get on our hands and knees into tabletop for cat-cow. So we're going to go ahead and lift our butt, lift our head up as we inhale. And lower our head towards the mat and arch our back as we exhale. And going ahead and coming into child's pose. Extending our arms out nice and straight, really reaching. Really reaching. Feeling that nice stretch in your back. And coming back into a plank position. We're going to go ahead and just hold the plank position. Breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Coming back into child's pose. And back into plank position. And back into child's pose. And back into plank position. And back into child's pose. From here, we're going to go ahead, come onto our knees, make fists with our hands, and lean back. Coming onto the balls of our toes, we're going to go ahead and reach back for our ankles with our hands, trying to have our hips over our knees if possible for camel. Slowly coming out of camel. We're going to go ahead and come into a standing position. So we're going to go ahead and do the warrior series, okay? So let's start with our right leg forward, our left foot back. Our right knee is bent. We have our arms up, nice and straight, reaching for the sky. Coming into warrior two. So our arms are extended. We're looking to our right hand. We're going to go ahead and turn our hand underneath, do a scoop, and come back for reverse warrior. Bring it back into warrior two. And bringing it back into warrior one. Relaxing our arms. We're going to go ahead and turn to our left side. And going ahead and coming into warrior one on our left side. Our arms are reaching for the sky. Then going ahead and coming into warrior two. We're going to go ahead and turn it palm side up. We're going to scoop and come back for reverse warrior. Bringing it back into warrior two. And back into warrior one. Relaxing the hands. We're going to go ahead and come back to our right side. Let's go ahead and roll our shoulders back just a little bit. And coming back into warrior one. Coming into warrior two. Turning palm side up, so you can go ahead and do reverse warrior. Bringing it back to warrior two. And bringing it back to warrior one. Relaxing the arms. Going ahead, rolling our shoulders back just a little bit. I know this is very much arm intensive. And bringing it to the left side for warrior one. Coming into warrior two. Turning our palm up, scooping and coming back into reverse warrior. Bringing it back into warrior two. And bringing it back to warrior one. All right, awesome. Now I said we were going to do all the warriors. So we're going to do warrior three. It's going to count as our balance position. So going ahead, starting on our right foot, almost coming into airplane mode, but with our left leg above the mat. And it's okay to fall. No worries. All right, and now we're going to go ahead and do it on the left, on our left foot. So coming forward. Yoga's not always perfect, no worries. Ah. Close enough though, close enough. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get into a straddle position. We're gonna go ahead and fall forward into a forward fold, into a hanging forward fold by going ahead and grabbing our elbows with our hands. And slowly rolling up. I'm going to go ahead and come into the death squat. I'm just kidding. Coming into our sumo squat and with our hands in prayer position. This is really helpful for opening up your pelvic floor. And that pop was my hip. It happens like that in yoga sometimes. All right, bringing our hands to the mat, coming back into the hanging forward fold. Nice deep breaths. And slowly rolling up. All right, let's go ahead and get into a supine position, which means we're going to be lying on our backs. We're going to go ahead and have the palms of our hands on the mat, down by our waist. We're going to go ahead and start with knees to chest. Ten more. We're going to go ahead and extend our legs. We're going to bring our right arm overhead. I was just checking on the camera because I'm like paranoid of it stopping. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and bring our right hand to our left foot or left ankle. Going ahead and bringing that right arm down, bringing the left arm up to do it on the opposite side. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and come up onto our elbows. Bring our elbows and our hands as close to each other as we can. Bringing our shoulders back and down and letting our head fall back for fish. Slowly lifting our heads up, getting up out of fish. We're going to go ahead and be on our bottoms. We're going to extend our legs in front of us. Extend our arms up nice and high and come forward for a straight-legged seated forward fold. We're going to go ahead and open up our legs for a nice straddle, and we're going to go ahead and come forward for a forward fold. We're going to go ahead, bring our legs together again. We're going to bend our left knee, bring our right arm to the outside of the left knee, and we're going to go ahead and turn, getting a nice stretch in our spine, chest up. And switching to the other side, straightening out the left leg, bending the right knee, having our arm come onto the outside of our right knee, right thigh, and looking behind us. All right, coming back to center, we're going to go ahead and get into Shavasana. Before it gets any louder inside of the household, I'll be real. Going ahead, having your palms facing the sky, being receptive and open to whatever the universe or your higher power would like to present to you, would like to give to you. Breathing in nice and deeply. Being proud of yourself for completing this practice. knowing that you gave it 100%, feeling proud. And now enjoying this time that you have to relax. And you can always do recovery by turning onto your stomach and having your forehead on your forearms. That's another way to do a version of Shavasana. And going ahead and extending an arm out, coming onto our side, and coming into whatever seated position is most comfortable for you. So again, thank you so much for joining me on this practice. I am so grateful for each and every one of you, and I am looking forward to the next video for sure. To our next session, to our next whatever we have. I do know that I haven't had a meditation in a minute. There's been some reasons for that. So I will be coming back to meditation within the next couple of weeks. I just don't know exactly when, but yes, the meditation is coming back. So again, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and or follow. I would greatly appreciate it, and I will see you on the next video. Be well, stay wild.